Hello everybody, this is Mateo, and we have to comb this new factory. Oh well, at least we have Lloyd this time. However, we do also have new enemies, including the old robot. Nothing all too interesting about the old robot, so yeah. And there's a whole bunch of new enemies, like 6 or 7 of them. And Lloyd is going to take some damage, so you might want to have him guard at first. However, you should have equipped the boomerang that you got back in Magicant Castle on him. So he'll do quite a bit of damage with that. Although he does have a tendency to miss, it actually isn't that bad. So yeah. Next up is the Bomber. Not all too interesting in himself. Believe he can cast fire. No, he can use Bomb, which will hit you for a whole bunch of damage. Oh my god, luckily we were guarding. Wow, okay, watch out for that. Jeez. So basically, Lloyd, he doesn't have any PSI ever. His PP will remain at 0. And what he does have is bottle rockets and bombs. He can use those in battle, which will do a bit of damage, not all that much. Honestly, he's pretty weak. I dislike him as a fighter. However, yeah, you know. Well, you always have to have that one weak character, and Lloyd just happens to fill that role this time. So now, after healing from that gigantic bomb, now would be a good time to use the big bag if you're running out of PP for Ninten and can't use Life Up anymore. But other than that, Life Up is really the only use that you're going to get out of Ninten's PP. So, just use that. Also, we have another new enemy, Dr. Distorto. He can fly into a rage, raise his offense, and then die, basically. So, yeah. Lloyd also... he gets a bit of HP, not as much as Nintendo. But really the only good thing about him is that he can use bottle rockets and bombs and stuff. Bottle rockets will hit all enemies for about 20 to 30 damage, and bombs will hit for a lot more. Don't remember how much. I really don't ever use those types of items, so basically to me, Lloyd is useless. He's kind of a meat shield and can finish off enemies that Nintendo leaves with like 20 HP or so. But oh well. So healing again. This is a very long area. I mean, even with just going to the rooms with all the stuff that I was interested in, I didn't go to every single room, and yet this place still took me like 40 minutes. After cutting out all the random battles and stuff, I was down to like 15, believe it or not. So, yeah. In this room you can find 2 bottle rockets, which you can use if you want. And again, I'm not going to every single room. Only about half the rooms contain anything actually useful, and we're just going to go ahead and check those out. And again, you will get your butt kicked. It might be a good idea to buy some bread and use it back at the town of Marysville, so then you'll have crumbs left. And if you're dying, then go ahead, use the crumbs and go back to Marysville and rest at a hotel or something or whatever you need to heal up, basically. Next up we have the Scrapper, which is like the old robot, but it's gray, missing an arm, and has a hole in it. This is another one of those guys that just has a little bit of an edit to it, so it's not exactly a recolor. I mean, it is, but they actually put some time into it to make it look different. Although this game still does have some recolors. They still at least did something to make their enemies look at least slightly different, which most RPGs don't do. I mean, they usually just have a straight up recolor to make 100 enemies into like 200. Oh well. Just another thing that makes this game pretty awesome. Also, we're nearing the halfway point, really. Well, we're not there yet, but we're nearing it. So, yeah, this game is really short, especially when you cut out every single random battle. A lot of this game's length comes from the random battles, or from grinding, and since you guys don't have to see all of that, well, you're lucky. There is a fireball there. It could use PSI Fire or PK Fire or whatever it's called. Fire Alpha, which does a little bit of damage. It'll hit all of your party members, unlike most other PK spells, which will only hit one member. So watch out for that. Okay, heading down here, we can head in this door, which is marked exit, even though that isn't right. We can find a life up cream. So basically what I'm going for in this area is bottle rockets, even though I end up never using them ever. Bombs, capsules, and life up creams. I'm pretty sure there was one other thing. Oh yeah, the Franklin badge. There's a second Franklin badge in this area. You want to make sure that you get that at least out of everything else in here. Okay, so we increase Ninten's speed, because Lloyd doesn't really need speed, he just isn't that useful. And we're going to give the physical cap to Ninten because he's the fighter, and wisdom can go to Ninten as well. So, yep, just making Lloyd all the weaker. Oh well. So basically, I'm going through a path that will require as minimal backtracking through this area as possible, and I honestly think I did a really good job. I am also using a map for this area because it's just so big, so you can find it online on the Earthbound 0 forums. That's the one that I used. It's a pretty good map, has everything listed in each room, so yeah, that's what I'm using, and I might link it in the description if I remember to, but given my memory, probably not. But, you know, it doesn't help to check, and if not, then just search like Duncan's factory map Earthbound 0, and you'll find it. Okay, now Lloyd has the bomb. Also, when we got Lloyd, we basically doubled our inventory space, because Lloyd can carry another, what was it, 8, 10 items? I forget exactly how much that each character can carry. I believe it's 8. So now we have 16 spots. So yay. Although, for the most part, Lloyd will be carrying bottle rockets and bombs if you're going to even use that. I don't know. Oh, I'm also going for PSI stones because those are helpful, even though I never end up using those either. Really, I could have just gone straight through this area and still be fine throughout the game for the most part. Oh well. I mean, you could have gone through this area in 7 minutes, just go straight to the destination. But, looking back on it, I could have, but, you know, you never know. It is helpful to go through this area, get all this stuff, and get all the experience. It saves you a bit of grinding later on, both for money and for experience. So I really do suggest you go to this area, pick up these things. However, you do want to go for the Franklin badge, which I will show the location of that eventually, when we get there. See, just look how large this place is. I mean, we've gone on to like the 6th floor now. I mean, really, come on now. This place is huge, and we're getting our butts kicked still. But I think for the most part, that's all the enemies. I could have sworn there was one more, although I guess that's later on. No, well, maybe we'll see it, maybe we won't. I believe that this is the room with the Franklin badge, maybe. Quite the long hallway, though. And we open the present, and, oh, nope, life up cream. Okay, never mind. You think after a long walk like that there would be one, but alas, no. Oh well. Another thing about this game is that they have the other characters following you rather than them suddenly absorbing into your body like an RPG would normally do. I mean, so that's another neat thing. There's another bottle rocket. Because of lack of space for naming things, we only have space to put... well, we're missing the E, basically. Okay, we're going to go ahead and throw away a bomb because I need a couple more spaces for items that I want, and bombs I'm not going to use all that much, so you know, whatever. Really, there's only one area that the items like that will be really useful, and we're getting to that soon enough. We're actually opening up the way so that we can go to that area. Is this the place with the Franklin badge? I know it's up high. Okay, there's nothing in that room. However, in this room, I believe this is the room with the Franklin badge, actually. Yep, Franklin badge. We're going to give that to Lloyd for now, but Lloyd isn't going to keep it forever. Yeah, so just because to make Lloyd Lloyd is basically the most useless character in your army of characters, or the characters that you can get in the game. So if he dies, I'm okay with it. And since PK Beam Gamma automatically kills you, well, I'd rather protect the other two that are more useful rather than Lloyd. So yeah, that's basically how that's going to work. But for now he can hold it because we have nobody else to give it to. And we are also now reaching the end of this area. We are now on the top story, which is like 10 or something. It's ridiculous. But let's go ahead and drop the other bomb that we picked up. Talk to the present, of course. And we get a force capsule, which we can go ahead and give to Ninten, because we don't have space to keep it for another character. Really, these things don't make much of a difference, and most of the stats I don't even know what they do, and they don't seem to do much of anything at all. So yeah, it doesn't really matter. Just head on down here. Once you reach this long hallway, you know you're going the right area. And we're nearing the end, and we're getting our butts kicked, and talk to the air while trying to heal. God, that only took 3 tries. Come on now. We're running out of PP too, so that bread probably would have been helpful. And then you could have also used the crumbs once you get to the end of the area. Or you could press your luck and continue going through to the exit, get into more battles, get even more experience, and just kind of hope for the best. And if you die, then oh well. Okay, so here's this rocket here. Let's go ahead and check it, aim it, fire it, and yeah, that's that. That's why we came in here, to watch a rocket fly diagonally. However, you remember that rock that was in the way of the train tracks? Well, that rocket destroyed those rocks, so now we can go through the train tracks, and we've basically unlocked the train. Yay! Which means story progression. So that's pretty much it for this area. Now it's just exiting, and we're going to try to see if we can... Oh, so I did use the big bag. Okay, well I didn't use it that much. When I first played this game, I used every single magic herb in the big bag, and it disappeared. And this is like the only area that I use the big bag ever. So, yeah. But, oh well, it's still there. It's really helpful, especially for beginner players that need extra HP because they keep on getting hit, and they don't know what to expect. So, you know, you can always get it. I mean, it's really easy to grab. You lose your cash card for like 5 seconds, but oh well. But yeah, now we just need to exit this area and hope that we don't die, and if we do die, then oh well, we'll just be transported to Marysville anyways. Speaking of dying, Lloyd is now a ghost, which means that he's unconscious in battle and following you. I wonder what happens when Ninten faints, but is no longer a ghost. Oh, he only has 4 more HP. Well, there must be a reason that I'm showing this battle, and judging by the fact that I only have 4 HP and 1 PP, and did not use a magic herb or anything, makes me believe that I did indeed die here. And I was right next to the exit too. I was like right there. So overall I got quite a bit of experience. Although Lloyd missed out on some of it, I really don't mind all too much. Okay, so we can return to the fighting scene, and now we have to kind of heal up. Because you're back to full life, however you lack all of your PP, and anybody else in your party is still dead. So yeah, let's go ahead and draw a whole bunch of money. However, I try to do this trick, however it doesn't work. I know that for some way, the doctor will only take half of the money that you have to heal something. I think it might be a regular like cold or something. When a character is unconscious, he has a flat rate and he won't pay anything else. But if you were to bring $2 and they will only take half, and they'll only take $1. So, yeah. But they take a flat rate for healing a character completely. So just go ahead, get the money, heal him up. Even though he's useless, he's still a good meat shield, and he does do extra damage. So let's go ahead and get about, I don't know, like $500, maybe more, to pay for that and the hotel and everything. Okay, so $400. We're also going to need money for when we take the train, because they charge about 20 per each person. It depends on where you're going, but you're still going to want to take a bit of money for that. Okay, so Lloyd is unconscious, even though he's following me around as a ghost, and suddenly he's he's physically alive again, rather than just a spirit. So let's also go ahead and go to the hotel, actually talk to the guy, and yeah, one of the very few times I'll use the hotel. But with that, I will see you next time when we get to ride the train. And once we save. At least we got through that factory. I was dreading that factory, but we're through it. Now, put in your cash card, Ninten. Come on now, you've used these things like 5 times before. Why does this kid even have an ATM card? Oh well, we're going to need a lot more money. A lot more than that, but oh well. See you next time.